Hi, your favorite architect is back, and today we are talking about something that can either make your design perfect or completely ruin your project, which is site survey. One wrong measurement, and boom, you are redoing panels, wasting money, and explaining things to an angry client. Yes, I've been there. So let me save you from that pain. I follow a simple three-part method for site survey, which is site approach, site entry, and the actual site survey. Sounds simple, right? But the magic is in the details. Before you even step out of your house, do one thing. Call the client and confirm the exact address and door number. Don't assume, because if you survey the wrong house, super, congrats. You just designed a dream kitchen for someone else. Now, let's talk about the site approach. Most people ignore this, but this is where smart architects think ahead. Check the shortest route, the longest route, and even alternate routes. And most importantly, check the road width. Why? Because one day a big truck full of materials is going to come to this site. If the truck gets stuck with a narrow lane, your project timeline is also stuck with it. Also, note landmarks, not just for navigation, but for logistics planning. This small step can actually save your time and money in the long run. Next comes the site entry, and this is where the reality hits. Check the staircase width, service lift availability, lift dimensions, and the main door size. Because your beautiful factory finished modular kitchen panels, they don't teleport. They have to physically enter the house. If they don't fit in any of the above access points, then you are redesigning on site. And trust me, that's not fun. Now comes the actual site survey, the heart of this process. First, take photos and videos. Seriously, take more photos than you think you need. Future you will thank you. But before I explain, let's do a quick test. I'm showing you a site image. Pause the video and comment at least 5 things you observe. Go on, I'll wait. 3 things you need to do a site survey, including a tape measure, a laser distance measure to accurately capture dimensions, and finally a notepad and a pen for immediate documentation and sketching. Alright, let's see if you think like a professional. A trained eye doesn't just see a kitchen, it sees information. You should notice MEP locations, which are mechanical, electrical, and plumbing points. Look at the permanent civil structure, like the countertop fixed with L clamps. Observe the backsplash tiles, the elevated sink trap, and the window near the sink. Even the finishes matter. Wall paint is premium emulsion, and the flooring is vitrified tile with 100 wall skirting from the floor. But the real skill? Spotting what's missing. In this case, there is no switch box or plumbing outlet for the water purifier. The chimney electrical point is too low, and there is no exhaust opening. These are things that will affect your design later. Since you have observed everything, it's time to document. And here is a rule. Always measure in millimeters. No shortcuts. For example, towards the right side, you might have a 580 wall, then a 840 opening, followed by a 225 wall, and then a 895 window. Repeat this for all sides. Yes, it sounds repetitive, but accuracy lives in repetition. Next, you have to create an elevation sketch and mark all the electrical and plumbing points. Of course, you have to do with this with dimensions. For example, an electrical point is 1120 from the wall and 275 above the countertop. Also note the countertop height, the backsplash height, and the sink trap dimensions. This is the kind of detail that separates a beginner from a professional. Here's my favorite part, thinking like a designer. This is where you combine client requirements with the site realities. Before designing, by using any software, try to visualize the entire kitchen in your head. For this space, I designed an L-shaped layout. I've kept the cooktop and chimney on one side. Then I placed a gas cylinder box unit tucked into the blind corner to use the negative corner space effectively. Next, I have kept the sink with a drawer unit nearby. Why? Simple, to store washed utensils. Then I placed the storage strategically for everyday items. Because of the elevated sink trap, I avoided a sink box and used a sink frame instead. Since there is no switch box, an outlet for the water purifier, I placed it above the sink so water would drain easily. I've also added a switch box for the water purifier. I hope you got an idea of how to do visualization. Good. See what's happening here. Design is not just creativity, it's problem solving. And now, here is the professional secret. The best designers don't start after a site survey. They start the design right there in their mind. If you can't clearly visualize the space, then you are not ready to design it yet. In the next video, I'll show you how to design a modular kitchen step by step using the same exact site data. So hit subscribe and start thinking like a real architect.